Well, hello there, my soul friends. It is Victoria, and we have a full moon coming up. It may be a little early to feel it, but I usually feel it a few days out. In general, they say that we have 3 days before and 3 days after to feel the potential of a full moon and to work with it so that we are not worked by it. So, first of all, I want to just say welcome to my channel. If this is your first time popping by here to join me, my intention in offering this channel is to outreach with the tools of transformation I have, the soul work I have to offer. That's why I call myself the soul nurturer. I am not a professional astrologer necessarily. I use it as a tool to support my clients in reclaiming their soul potential. I do believe that we come in with purpose and potential, and it's beautiful. And then with our first breath, we begin to climatize to this world, even before we're in this world, when we're in utero and we're getting a sense of our mom's emotional nature and energy. And that's where the adaptation begins. So, what I love to do with astrology is look at what I call a soul chart, an astrology soul chart with the focus on soul potential and where we are wounded, where my clients are wounded. I look at my chart all the time, and I'll tell you what, it's an endless exploration. And so I hesitate. I have a astrology mentor. Her name is Stephanie Austin. She's awesome, and I told her, I want you to structure this in a way that it's like I've gone through my program, I get my certificate or whatever, and I know that I'm qualified. And she said, I think you're ready for the certificate. So, but there's always more to learn. And always, in general with life, always more to learn and grow and unfold. And that's why I think we're here in this Earth School. So, astrology is part of my huge transformational basket of goodies. And I know when I do these videos, people tend to watch the astrology ones more often than my transformational ones. And that's cool. That's fine. I know it's because we're moving towards, some say we're in the age of Aquarius, but moving towards it. I feel like when Pluto goes into Aquarius, which is in next year, we are definitely in the age of Aquarius, and we are definitely going to be drawn more to spiritual practices, which I think astrology is. It's another way that Creator speaks to us and guides us, in my mind. So I think that's why there's such an interest in astrology. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the full moon in Pisces. And I mentioned in my last video, astrology video, anyway, when I talked about the new moon in Virgo, that we're in Virgo season. Yes, we're still in Virgo season. And what I like to do is ask those who watch with me, and I always check in with my clients, what are you noticing? What are you feeling? How has the Virgo sun energy, the Virgo season felt like for you? What's it felt like for you? And as we move towards the moon in Pisces, what that may feel, what you feel like, and what you may notice. It's funny. I was talking to my best friend on the phone earlier today, and I just hear astrologically. I just hear how the astrological weather is working with us and guiding us and supporting us. And I'm going to talk more about what a full moon energy is like and how we can utilize the energy. But anyway, all the buzzwords of both, mostly Virgo, but I could feel like a hint of Pisces. And Virgo energy has been like, okay, what's not working? Why are you doing it that way? You might be hearing the critical voice a little bit louder. But, right now we are in, I always think about like, where are we in terms of the energy and what's happening in terms of transformational energy? And I always think about a river flowing, and if any of you have ever river rafted, have you? I had a blessing of going through the Grand Canyon, and my first time ever river rafting. Now I've done it a few times since and love it. Anyway, there are categories of the rapids, sometimes a little bit more intense, and you really have to just hold on for dear life, right? Well, we've had some transformational cycles like that with the astrological weather. Fortunately, we're in kind of a smooth space right now. Can you feel it? Like a little bit more like, oh, okay, I can catch my breath. And relax a little bit, replenish, and yet the Virgo sun is surely reminding us of things we'll need to get back to work soon on, and things that we're going to have to get busy with. And maybe, you know, you've got quite a long to-do list, and maybe you're noticing areas in your life that need to heal. So let's talk about, I guess when I think about Virgo, and now with the full moon in Pisces, these words come to mind: service, not sacrifice. And a phrase, or I guess it's a term that I coined. I almost trademarked it because I love it so much. But with Pisces full moon, which is the moon in Pisces in opposition to the sun in Virgo. So Pisces is all about visioning. It's the mystic. It's, I really want to encourage you to start paying attention to your dreams. It's an ideal time for dream work. But it's really here it is. This combination is, that saying that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I like to say we are souls having a human experience. And this combination of a Virgo sun and moon in Pisces is that. Virgo is like very earth. It's detail oriented in this world, focused on the details, focused on what needs to get done, and very practical and methodical and organized. And then Pisces is very ethereal, very soul-like, mystical, and holds what I feel is closer to soul potential, which is that love, unconditional love, and empathy and compassion. Okay. So here's my term, and that is, so we want to vision during this time, and we want to dream. We want to connect to our soul possibilities and dream them into being, right? And so the term is, instead of saying I'm a visionary, yeah, visionaries are awesome. I am one. I can come up with all kinds of cool ideas and thoughts, and dream in new possibilities all the time. The key is getting it done, right? And so my term is Vision Actionary, okay? Because you want to be able to put some legs on your vision, to that saying, pray, move your feet while you're praying. That's a Vision Actionary. You catch the vision. You can hear some of my terminology comes from Reverend Michael Beckwith, one of my teachers years ago when I lived in California. I went to Agape for years. I was studying to be a spiritual practitioner there, and went on a different track. And I remember before I left, I told him, I had this opportunity to move to a new town, but I wanted to stay within a spiritual practice. And he said, that will be your spiritual practice. And that was so, he is a mystic. So very absolutely true. It was quite a spiritual journey, and still is. Anyway, Vision Actionary is a perfect way to describe this full moon. We're going to, connect to visions, connect to our dreams, and then take some tangible action, some things we can do, things that we must do. Must is such a Virgo word. We must get it done. We must do that. We must. So another way I think about astrology, especially when I look at a natal chart with my clients, and like I said, I'm always learning more about myself. That's why I got into astrology in the first place, and many people do. To understand our own nature, to understand this world we live in and what's happening, and to understand the people we share the world with, right? Like, why are we not vibing? What's going on here? And then you just see, like, oh, okay, we gather more understanding, and with understanding, then more compassion, more acceptance, and more unity. Yeah. That's Moon and Pisces already speaking through me. So, okay. So I'm going to go back to, I did make a few little notes here. First of all, I'll come back to my take on it and my feeling about what's going to happen, which is what these are. I know I got a comment the other day, like, said, just tell us what it means, not what you feel about it. Well, you're on the wrong channel. Sorry. I am going to tell you what some of the astrology is like and what's getting set up. I'm not going to, just like I can't tell you what your dreams mean, I can't tell you what the astrology is going to be for you. This is just my intuition, my feeling of it, but ultimately you're the expert of you, and you also have free will. So when astrologers say this and that and the other is going to happen, you get to, receive it as, oh, really? Okay. Let me check in with my soul. Let me check in with my vision. Let me see where I am and how I'm going to ride this energy or utilize this energy to fulfill the potential of my soul. That's how I use astrology, and that's how I speak to astrology. So anyway, but thank you all for the comments. I'm getting a lot more comments and I love them. So keep commenting. That sounded like commenting, which, yeah, it's an astrology video, so commenting. So comment, subscribe if you haven't, and like and share the video if you feel called to. Okay, so a few things that are going on as we move towards the full moon that are important to speak to, and then I'm going to talk about looking at the sun and the moon as parts. This is what, as I was saying, how I look at a natal chart. I look at all the players in the story of the person's unfolding and all these parts. So as a hypnotherapist, I do parts work, which is oftentimes, and you ever notice this, like I really want to do this, and then you feel like the sabotager comes in, or you feel a push pull and you can't quite get in the flow. This is where parts work can be really handy. This is the tool I would recommend for that I do recommend for full moon, integrating the full moon energy. So we'll talk more about the parts that we're going to integrate and the medicine of each, planet. Well, the moon is a luminary, but the sun, which is a star, the sun and the moon, we just overall call them all planets, even though they're not. But sun and the moon. Virgo wants me to be technical right now, get precise. Pisces, I have a sun Neptune, which kind of gives me some honorary Pisces energy. So we just flow with whatever. There's no technicalities. There's just essence and feeling and intuition. And that's kind of how I flow. Anyway, let's get to some details though. Okay. So Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde on the 9th, which is before I'm doing this video, and it's going to be in retrograde until October 2nd. But we are in what is called the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde. So you may already be noticing, I'm curious if you have been, some technical little hiccups, some, computer stuff. My phone was doing this really weird thing. Of course, it could have been the solar flare that we just had a couple days ago. Very big solar flare that could have happened. But anyway, you may notice there may be some issues with your car or communication, like, and you may be feeling it as Mercury is slowing down now, and you also may be feeling more slowed down, because in addition to Mercury, and I didn't look up all the planets in retrograde, but we have quite a few. I believe, let's see, we've got Saturn, Jupiter, Saturn. I think Neptune is retrograde. Pluto, I have to double check. I should know this, and I don't, and forgive me. I'll look it up and put it in the details. Anyway, slowing down time to review, reset, restore, reclaim, revision. Revision is the key right here in Virgo season, though. Virgo wants to point out what's not working, where it could be better, especially in this with this full moon, regarding our bodies, our physical health, and our health, our mental health, our well-being. Virgo and Pisces are both healers. So this is a really profound healing time or healing potential. So we've got the Mercury retrograde about to happen, but again, you may be feeling the pre-shadow, which is 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after the retrograde. And then we have moon sextile, and this is all on the 10th. I should have said that, sorry. Feeling very Pisces. September 10th, and let me look at the exact time when that full moon takes place. So it's at 2:59 a.m. Pacific time. So of course, wherever you're watching from, it'll be at a different time and possibly even on a different day. So then we have moon conjunct Neptune, which gives this like a really more expanded Piscean feeling. Neptune rules Pisces. So this is going to feel very ethereal. We're going to be called into, we may be a little fuzzy thinking, but that Virgo sun's going to call us back. It's okay to daydream a little bit, but come on back and let's put some action to that daydream. Let's take some tangible steps forward. So, and then moon is sextile Pluto. Of course, this story is continuing to unfold our individual and collective transformation and unfolding and emerging potential. So then the moon on the 10th will move into Aries at the end of the day, late 11:47 p.m. So I love this. Okay, I love this story. So let's get into the story of what is going to happen, or what possibly could happen. Remember, this is like the astrological weather. If I say it may rain and you go get your umbrella and your rain jacket and you go outside and it's sunny, don't be mad, right? That was a potential. So if I illuminate, which is what the full moon does, and as I speak to the full moon, what I'm trying to do is let it speak through me. And what's the potential that it's bringing us, right? So a full moon in general, as we know, it's the culmination point of the lunation cycle. We set intention in the new moon. What do we want to cultivate, generate, experience, embody? And when we get to the culmination of the full moon, where the sun is fully illuminating the moon, the moon does not generate any light. It is the reflection. The moon is a reflector, the ultimate mirror and reflector. And that's what a full moon does. It draws out our emotions. It illuminates what's in the way of our way. And then it begins, it shows us, do you want to continue like this, or do you want to do something different, especially with that Virgo and Pisces. So in general, we say with a full moon, it's a time to release, let go, kind of clear the way, so that you can begin the new cycle of when we're in the balsamic moon and the dark moon, when it's time to plant new seeds, or to not plant at that time, to really sit with what else are we called to? What do we want to bring forward from the darkness into the light? And so then, we go to the new moon and throughout the whole lunation cycle to the full moon. So this is our opportunity, yes, let it come. You draw forward what you're feeling. You can, oftentimes emotions are more heightened, I expect, with a Pisces moon, very much so. And so what I think about it is, it's not so much like you have to consciously say, I'm going to let go. This full moon is going to help you. Pisces is, it's going to, instead of having to let go and go write your what you want to let go and put it in a fire, or any letting go rituals that you may have, this compassionate energy of Pisces energy is intuitive, it's compassionate, and it's emotional, and it's creative. And so this watery full moon may bring forward some tears, and whether you are crying or not, or the energy may just naturally, like water, dissolve and wash away and cleanse all that's in your way. Okay. So this is the potential of this full moon. It is a healing opportunity. And these are both mutable signs, Virgo and Pisces. And so there's more flexibility in how you do your healing. There's more adaptability. As long as the needs of the two parts and the two players, Virgo and Pisces, are met. And that's what we do in parts work. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is that Venus moved out of Leo and is, I think, on the 4th, and is now in Virgo. So we do have some precision here. And that is regarding relationships. I think about Venus moving into Virgo. It's like where we might have had blinders on with relationship, they're off. And we're like, oh, didn't notice that before. Oh, yeah. Don't know if I can accept that, or can we take care of this? Can this be healed? And I often say, I work with a lot of young women mostly, and I do work with men, but mostly young women and women my age and older, late bloomers that are still here to bring our potential and purpose. We're, perennials, some of us, like always envisioning something new and wanting to bring that forward continually. Anyway, I always say to them, you don't want a fixer-upper when you're looking for a relationship. You're wanting, ready to move into your possibilities in relationship, right? Because a lot of times as women, we're like, Yeah, okay. I can work with this. And then our codependency comes in and I can fix this and I can help this and I can make this better. No, there's a quote, and it's such a bizarre origin, but it's Benjamin Franklin. All right, maybe he had some awareness about relationships. The quote is marriage or deeply committed relationships, doesn't have to be marriage to be a deeply committed relationship. Entering into a significant committed relationship requires, I'm totally paraphrasing Benjamin Franklin, by the way, requires having our eyes wide open before the commitment and then half closed once you commit. What does that mean? Be super aware of what you're choosing to commit to. I could segue on this because I always tell the people that I'm coaching with looking for a partner or being in relationship, like you have this profound, special opening, like a job opening. Okay, only what I say usually is we spend more conscious awareness towards selecting a job or selecting an employee if we're an employer than we do selecting a partner or someone that we're dating. Even we tend to go unconscious, and so this quote by Benjamin Franklin, this is what the full moon feels like to me, because the moon is going to illuminate what's not working. And Venus in Virgo, we may see it in relationship and in relationship to ourselves and to our bodies, to our health, our well-being, and our money. We may be going, I noticed that my husband and I have been feeling this, like suddenly, like, oh my gosh, like we had our eyes half closed with some of the spending we've been doing, especially with Venus and Leo. You're like, yeah, let's get that. Let's do this. Let's go here. And now put the brakes on with Venus and Virgo. Like, okay, how much did you spend? Where's your budget? How over budget are you? And all this Virgo energy wants us to be aware of the details, looking at your bank account, looking at what money's going out and how much is, coming in, and budgeting, So in scheduling, Virgo is all about budgeting and scheduling. So I'm already speaking to the part of Virgo, the player of Virgo. What need needs to be met? And what does Pisces need? And what do they do to help? And that's the medicine they bring for you. So it's a time to get real about what we could be doing better in terms of taking care of our lives. It's kind of an echo of the new moon in Virgo. But the gift is the medicine of Pisces, which is compassion. So we may be hearing that critical voice, but it's kind of muted. And it's like, yeah, I hear you. And instead of tearing ourselves down or, just feeling kind of crappy about what we did and why we didn't do what we did, because Pisces is like, it's okay. We're going to figure this out. Pisces wants you to dream in a new way of planning and doing, right? So here's how we marry the two. We integrate. Virgo requires some plan, some action, some diligence, some structure, some commitment, and focus on details. Pisces requires with compassion and fluidity and creativity and visioning. It's like, okay, think of Pisces as like the water flowing around the rock of Virgo. Like there's the structure and the flow. And the flow of Pisces says, okay, what's the problem? I'll dream a new solution. Okay. It's a great time to incubate a dream. When you have problems that you don't know what to do, you just, before you fall asleep, just think about the problem and say, now show me a solution, dream maker or soul, however you think of where the dreams come through, God, creator. It's also a time, again, as I said, vision, time to do vision boards. And when I teach vision boards, I always teach action because it's a vision actionary process. And so this full moon illuminates what we need to see, what's blocking our intentions, our goals, our vision, and especially the ones we set with the new moon in Virgo. And then what else did I have for you here? Creativity, definitely. Sit down and draw a picture or catch a dream and write it down, and then go and do some artwork and see what else your soul is trying to tell you. Before you go to sleep, that may be your incubation statement. What does my soul want me to know and do? Okay. All right. So I talked about cleansing and dissolving the blocks, whatever's blocking your light. Let your tears flow and let your emotions flow and let your creativity flow and let your imagination flow and listen to your intuition. So, touched on that already. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the parts. So we've got these two very, in fact, opposite parts. Virgo, 180 degrees away from Pisces, but they have gifts to share or medicine to offer. So again, Virgo, both are healers, healing energy. The challenge with Virgo is it may push us too far, and we're suddenly not being in service to ourselves or others, and we're sacrificing. And especially with the Pisces full moon, easily to sacrifice. Both of these energies can sacrifice too much. Virgo, because they're always called to more service, always wanting to do it better. And we talked about that. Watch the new moon video if you want to learn more about Virgo energy. And Pisces have boundary issues because think about like water just flows. So Pisces energy, and those of you, I'd like to know if I'm talking to any Pisces out there or moon in Pisces or Pisces rising, because this is going to impact you the most. And then also where this full moon falls in your chart, which house is Pisces in your chart. And then where's Virgo? And then also where's Mercury retrograding in your chart? There's so much going on in that way. And then Mars is going to go retrograde next month, but we're getting closer to being in the shadow of that as well. So you may feel that retrograde energy too. And so Mars in Gemini, where is that in your chart? This is how we make it personal. I'm talking about general, and then you want to know like how it affects you, what part of your chart is lit up, and what energy you get to borrow to do what you're here to do. Okay. So Virgo, again, meeting the need of details. And this is why they're so very different. I think of Pisces energy is like ostrich in this and head in the sand, or just up in the stars, dreaming. And Virgo's like pulling on Pisces saying, come back to earth. We've got work to do. So we need to listen to both. And in parts work, the goal is to bring them together. One of the techniques is I'd say we put Virgo energy on one hand, Pisces energy on the other, and we'd let them talk, we'd let them dialogue, and we'd find the common goal. And here the common goal to integrate is healing. Both Pisces and Virgo want to heal. So then if I was doing this process with a client, their hands would move together. And then I always have them come into prayer pose once they've brought those two, seemingly very different parts together in unity for a higher purpose. So that's what we want to consider here. So be practical. The practical thing you can do as a vision actionary, catch your dreams, write them down, work with them. And if you need help doing that, I love to do dream work, reach out to me. Or then just write it down and say, what action can I take here? Jung had a term that, and I'm blanking right now. It's totally gone. It'll come back. Anyway, it's a process to take action on behalf of your dream. Active imagination. Thank you. Active imagination. And so you may go, okay, what can I do with this? Can I draw a picture? Can I write a poem? Can I take some physical action? Like say in the dream, you're hiking and you haven't been hiking for years. You literally go hiking. Okay. Or you dialogue with the parts in the dream. So, all right. So that's about all I have for this. I just wanted to say, let this full moon drench you in self-compassion and just infuse your body with so much unconditional love and empathy, and that it'll quiet any critical voice you have, but let that Virgo energy be a guide towards serving your best interest, your body. This is a time to, again, review your health history. I just posted, and I just posted something on Instagram today. I wanted to say, though, if you want to go to Instagram, I hate requesting a follow, but you can find me there at I Am the Soul Nurturer. And that's where I can interact with people more. And I love comments on YouTube because I can kind of interact, but it just, there's, direct message on Instagram. So we have more of a conversation there. So go find me there. But anyway, the post this morning, because I woke up with this, was this thought. And I think it's relevant to this full moon, that when, how did I say it? Oh, when a child is upset and we ignore it, it'll throw a tantrum. And that's why we need to listen to all aspects of our being, to our mind. What are we thinking? What's the story? To our soul. What is it longing for? To our body. Where is it at? What's its capacity? How are we taking care of it? And to our feelings, because they are the messengers for all of that, right? So I think this full moon in Pisces is just that. We are called to greater service for ourselves and others. And we're meant to really listen to all aspects of our being and to utilize this wonderful energy, let them work together. Virgo can show you a better plan of action. Pisces can love you forward, I like to say. Pisces can dissolve all the judgment, dissolve all the fear, and let you flow in your life as your soul wants to unfold. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you found this helpful. I'd love to hear takeaways. What spoke to you from what I said in this video? And many blessings. I send you so much love. I think the full moon is different for everyone. For me, I can feel it pulling me. I can feel, sometimes I have to just be in my own cocoon during a full moon. Some people get really pulled forward and outward. I'm a natural introvert, or an ambivert, really. So I'm a full moon. Usually on a full moon, I'm with myself, and in this case, I'll be with my dreams and my inner world. I'd like to know how the full moon impacts you, how it feels as we draw closer. Comment as we draw closer, during or after. All right, take good care of yourself. Until next time, as always, I'm so grateful that you stopped by to visit with me. And now I'm going to go have my cup of tea, and I encourage you to do the same. Take good care. Bye.